FBI agents swear an oath to the Constitution, not to any one individual. Their loyalty is to the law, to democracy, and to the American people, not to political figures or their personal egos.
Durbin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Patel, in addition to the extensive purge of nonpartisan career FBI official reports indicate that dozens of remaining officials have been subjected to polygraph exams to test their loyalty. My understanding is approximately 40 officials have been asked to sit for a polygraph during your administration, and several have been asked whether they have ever made negative comments about you. Director Patel, FBI agents pledge their loyalty to the Constitution of the United States, not you personally. What is the basis for requiring polygraph exams of your workforce and asking them if they've made negative comments about you?
I don't know what reports you're referring to, Ranking Member, and I reject any reporting that has false information in it, so I'm not going to respond to that. As far as polygraphs go, generally they're always and always have been utilized at the FBI to track down those that leak sensitive information and have unauthorized disclosures to the media, and we will continue to use them to ensure the integrity of the FBI.
Did any individual on your senior executive team, the director's advisory team, or who serve in the positions on the 7th floor receive disqualifying alerts on their polygraphs?
Senator, I'm not going to get into the personnel discussions that were had on a polygraph. Those are private discussions, and many of them relate to ongoing investigations.
Did you or Attorney General Bondi provide any individual with a waiver so they could remain employed after they received disqualifying alerts on their polygraphs?
I'll have to get back to you.
You don't remember that?
No, sir. My priority is protecting the American public, not getting into the weeds of polygraphs.
And to have a decent memory when you come before a committee.
I'm happy to talk about all the good work the men and women of the FBI are doing, including providing the lowest crime rate in American history. If you want to talk about how to protect the citizens, Chicago has seen a 30% reduction in its murder rate because of the men and women of the
You
FBI.
take credit for that?
I'll happily do that.
You
The
take credit?
interagency partners and the men and women of the Chicago PD have never been more
Include
powerful.
local law enforcement, please.
Have you ever seen my testimony across this country where I always lead with our interagency partnerships with state and local law enforcement? It is the pillar of what I am doing. And on the 7th floor, for the first time in FBI history, I have installed police officers and sheriffs right on my 7th floor to report to us every day what's going around the country on the street level, because that is a priority of the FBI and is the only way we are going to work. I don't take credit for anything, but I will defend the men and women of the FBI and the cops that help us get it done.
You should.
Durbin zeroed in on reports that during Patel's time in leadership, dozens of career FBI officials were subjected to unusual polygraph exams. These weren't just standard security screenings to check for leaks. According to accounts, some agents were even asked whether they had made negative comments about Patel himself. Think about that for a moment. Instead of focusing on keeping Americans safe, leadership was allegedly concerned with whether agents were loyal to him personally. That's not how a democracy works. That's how authoritarian systems behave. When Durbin pressed Patel on whether senior officials received disqualifying results on their polygraphs, Patel dodged. He refused to answer directly, citing privacy and ongoing investigations. And when asked whether waivers were granted so that people with troubling polygraph results could keep their jobs, Patel simply said he'd get back to the senator. That's not accountability. That's evasion. Notice how Durbin responded when Patel claimed not to remember. He cut right through the spin. You don't remember that? You need to have a decent memory when you come before a committee. That's more than just a sharp rebuke. It's a reminder that congressional testimony is not a game. It's about truth and responsibility. The American people deserve clear answers, especially when the integrity of our federal law enforcement is at stake. Patel tried to pivot, boasting about lower crime rates and partnerships with local law enforcement. But here's the reality. None of that excuses the serious concern raised by Durbin. You can't hide behind positive statistics to avoid accountability for questionable practices. Because at the end of the day, democracy depends on checks and balances. It depends on career professionals in agencies like the FBI doing their jobs without fear of political purges or loyalty tests. This moment matters because it highlights a larger struggle. Do we want our institutions to serve the people and the Constitution, or do we want them reshaped into tools for political loyalty? Democrats like Senator Durbin are pushing back against that dangerous trend, defending the idea that no official, Republican or Democrat, should ever demand personal loyalty tests from public servants. As viewers, the takeaway is clear. Our democracy only survives if we protect its guardrails. That means standing up when we see attempts to bend law enforcement into a political weapon. It means demanding transparency, accountability, and respect for the rule of law. So the next time you hear about loyalty tests or political purges in federal agencies, remember this exchange. Remember Senator Durbin holding the line, and ask yourself, are we comfortable letting any leader demand personal allegiance from the people sworn to protect our Constitution? If the answer is no, then we have to stay engaged, stay informed, and keep holding those in power accountable. Because democracy doesn't defend itself, we do.